back to the Horror Highway podcast. Today I'll be hosting another little true crime episode. I had a friend tell us that we should probably put trigger warnings or content warnings beforehand, and I think that's a good idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give a content warning for like gore, I guess, gore and blood and
Just
violent crimes.
what he wants to do is
I didn't
that
introduce you yet. I didn't.
nah,
Shut
doesn't
up!
care.
Shut
Doesn't
up!
matter.
Shut up!
What he wants to do is
Stay
a
with
Family Guy thing, like parent advisory. Wants to do the Family Guy thing.
I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, here with me today is Aris. Say hi. Okay, we're doing this.
I wasn't introduced yet.
I just introduced you, so that's fun.
Who?
You.
Who?
Aris.
Who's that?
You.
That's not me.
Anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd get that out of the way. So I'm gonna do a pretty big one for Texas. This was actually like a pretty big kind of like unsolved mystery in Texas. I have a feeling you've heard of it. It's called the Texarkana Moonlight Murders.
No, never.
Oh, really? Okay. So not too long ago, I asked you if you wanted to watch a movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Like 2 days ago, remember?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that movie is based off this true crime incident. I don't know, true crime. It's based off this true crime, like, end of sentence. So spring of 1946 in the town of Texarkana in Texas, the spree of a serial killer known as the Phantom Killer or the Phantom Slayer would wreak chaos and devastation upon the town, leaving in his wake nothing but a macabre legend. That's how you say that, right?
Macabre?
Macabre legend. I wrote that, but the word always eludes my head. Starting February 22nd in 1946, the horror of this tragedy would begin with the couple of Jimmy Hollis, 25, and his girlfriend, Mary John Larry, 19. They were parked a decent distance from a town at a spot known as Lover's Lane. It was approximately 11:55 when the couple was approached by a man who had a white cloth turned into a makeshift mask covering his face. The eye holes were cut out of his mask, giving the couple only that to try and figure out who was behind the mask harassing them. The man flashing the light at the couple, and according to Hollis, blinding him, would tell him, "I don't want to kill you, fellow, so do what I say." The man standing at around 6 feet from Hollis and Larry could tell sorry, my bad.
Take a breather, bro. I got like, bro, how many lovers lanes are there, bro? Like,
there's a lot, because in this
there's like
case,
one in every town, bro.
There's two. In this case, there's two, and they're not even the same lovers lane.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking
But it's
stupid.
the same town.
It's like, hey, you want to go to Lover's Lane? Yeah, which one? 1, 2, 3, I don't know. What?
I mean,
Motherfucker tells the police, yeah, we got attacked at Lover's Lane, and these motherfuckers don't even know where to go because there's a shit ton of them.
I feel like it's like saying over that hill, or like it's more of a what would you call this? Like it's not a specific location, but a landmark. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm sure there's a Lover's Lane here in this town somewhere. I mean, there's gotta be. From what I saw, the definition of it is just like kind of like a secluded dirt road pretty far away from the town or whatever. Or not too far, but like it's a distance away.
Where kids go out to hang out.
Essentially.
Our teens.
Yeah. I don't know if Lover's Lane still exists in modern times, since you could just FaceTime and be safe at your house, and I don't fucking know.
I'm pretty sure if you go to Lover's Lanes, you're going there to get top or something, bro. You're getting topped off. I mean, she getting piped, or you getting topped off, bro. It don't matter. But yeah, I have not heard of like Lover's Lane type beat thing like nowadays. It's always like an old. You know?
Yeah. I see why I messed up that sentence now, because I accidentally skipped like the beginning of it. The man, standing at around 6 feet from what Hollis and Larry could tell, started commanding Hollis to take off his breeches which are like pants. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, Aris.
What? What's wrong? I thought you were gonna keep going. My bad.
I was like, I just wanted to clarify because I don't know what the fuck birches are, but I know they're like a type of pants that you wear.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, and
Birches, the tree, like birch tree.
That's spelled the same.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
And then what's his name? My bad. Hollis would be struck twice in the head with a gun, but like not shot.
Yeah, like the back of the gun. Knocking him out and shit.
The force of the blow was so loud, Larry thought Hollis had been shot. Then she was ordered to run by the assailant. When she did, the person told her to run the other direction. The man in the mask later caught up to her and violently assaulted her. The couple would survive the attack and ran looking for help, calling the police, which they would get a hold of and telling conflicting details. Larry believed the attacker was an African American, and Hollis said the man seemed to be a 30-year-old white man.
Oh, so that's why it's kind of they haven't found it, kind of. Maybe the one that thought, not trying to be racist here. It kind of sounds racist, not me saying now that I'm saying that, right? But like maybe he found out like it was a white dude, but like he attacked him in the shadow or something. And that's why he thought it was African American.
From what I can remember, the police pushed back on one of them. They didn't believe one of them, Larry's account, and they believed that Hollis knew the identity of the attacker and was covering from him. That basically based on the interviews with the victims, they believed that the girl was lying, that it wasn't an African American person because she was changing her story up so much, and that Hollis knew the attacker, but he wasn't saying who it really was.
Wait, so which one was Hollis, the guy or the girl?
Hollis was the dude, and
who the fuck is Larry, bro?
That's her last name. I'm using.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
ain't no way
a girl was named Larry.
Names. I've never used their first names because every single wiki article, regular article that I've read always uses the people's last name. So I assume it's just the way you're meant to write these things.
I don't know, bro. I'm a girl named Larry, bro.
It's her last name.
Yeah, I know, but it's just weird. That's what got me confused. Like, which one's who?
My bad. Yeah. So, and this is really weird because this attack is not at all like the rest. So then, and this happened all in a 3-month period.
So did the girl not get hurt at all? Or
yeah, she got assaulted. She got violently assaulted.
So she's like, fuck it, just beat the fuck out of me. Just make it look like, I don't know you or something?
Well, no, it's, they believe that the guy knew who it was. The guy knew who the attacker was, but he was just, not telling anyone. They don't know if Larry believed she knew who the attacker was. The Phantom Slayer, the Phantom Killer, whatever you want to call him.
Okay. I don't know, yeah.
I mean, there's a bigger thing. I might as well go into it now. The main theory is that this was all the same guy. It could have been different people.
Wait, but they were both in Lover's Lane, right? They both got attacked, or?
Yeah, they both got attacked.
Together, right?
No, so the guy got hit in the head 2 times in his car, and the girl was told to run away, but then the attacker told her, hey, don't run that way, run the other way. And so she ran that way, and later on, the attacker caught up back with her. And, and I forgot to mention this, because I didn't write it down, but I do remember the detail. He asked her why she was running, and she was all like, because you told me to run away, and then he started violently attacking her. Which is kind of weird.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange. It just is strange.
But they still think the Hollis, right? Hollister. The brand Hollister knows the guy, or know the guy, but covers him after he got attacked.
That seemed to be the initial kind of conclusion that the police came to. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe there's more stuff that I don't know, that makes them think that.
To be fair, not that was just their theory. There's not much else there. So we move to March 24th, 1946. At around 8:30 to 9, A passing motorist would find the bodies of Richard L. Griffin and Polly Ann Moore in the car of Griffin. Both at first were believed to have been asleep by the motorist, but upon closer inspection it was found both were killed. Both were shot in the head, but Griffith was shot two other times, and a close look at the situation shows that both were actually killed outside the car and were positioned by the killer. Griffin was found in the front seats on his knees and his head resting on his crossed hands, and his pockets were turned inside out. Moore was found sprawled face down in the back seat. The car was found on the road South Robinson near Railroad Spur 100 yards south of US Highway 67th West, close to a night spot called Club Dallas. It was a lover's lane. Police launched a citywide investigation with the Texas and Arkansas City Police and Department of Public Safety, Miller and Cass County Sheriff's Departments, and the FBI, but nothing was found. And another thing is they brought in this famous Texas Ranger. I think his last name was Gonzalez. I can't
like the sports ball player.
No, not the sports ball player. Oh, yeah, it was the elite Texas. I guess they're like the FBI equivalent, but for the state. MT Lone Wolf Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure that's Gonzalez. Gonzaullas. That's not how you typically spell it. That, as far as I could remember, there's usually just an A and an L and an S. But
yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not looking at the name.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's just go Gonzalez. I mean, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, this one like kind of brought a shit ton of people together, and they just could not find a single fucking thing. I think there was like, for this specific murder, there was about 200 people that were suspected of doing it, but they had no real evidence to pin it on any of them. And then they asked for like information, but no one came forward because they couldn't really figure anything out. But as you see here, there is kind of like a MO growing here, right? You see the
Lover's Lane's attack.
Well, more like just couples getting attacked, because the Lover's Lane thing kind of gets ditched after this. Okay, we'll move on to the third attack.
The dude was just mad because he saw a happy couple.
That's honestly what it kind of seems like at the end of all these attacks. April 13th, 1946, the second double murder. Saturday would be the last day people would see Betty Jo Booker, 15, and Paul Martin, 17, alive. Martin was giving Booker a ride. No one knows what occurred from the last time the two were seen together, but at 6:30 a.m., Martin's body was found shot 4 times, once in the back of the neck, shot through the left fourth rib, through the nose, and the right hand. Booker's body was found 2 miles away from Martin at 11:30 a.m. The same day, she was shot twice, once in the chest and once in the face. Unlike the previous victim, they were not found in their car, but rather in an area around it with a radius of about 4 miles, seeming to have been the killer was trying to hide them. The keys were still in the ignition of the car when the car was found. Both pairs of victims were killed with a .32 automatic Colt pistol. Police could not narrow down the list of suspects, and the search for anything was fruitless. So, the first murder victims, the first couple that was killed, and the second couple were killed with the same weapon, the .32 Colt pistol. That's what kind of gave the police, like, hey, this is the same guy. He's going on a spree. And the fact that he's attacked, the 3 couples have been attacked within this very short time frame, from February to April, makes it believe it was the same person.
So did he start killing?
Yeah, he started. He killed on the
second?
previous. Yeah, on the second.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't really highlight it, but yeah.
So the first ones were fine though. He was just like
he just attacked them. Really, okay. I wouldn't say they were fine, but they were attacked. And then we'll move on to the last crime he was committed, or as far as they could connect it to, which is May 3rd, 1946. May 3rd, sometime before 9, the married couple of Virgil Starks, 37, and Katie Starks sat in their 500-acre farm off Highway 67 East, about 10 miles from Texarkana. Virgil sitting in his armchair relaxing, and Katie in the bedroom lying in her bed were seemingly undisturbed until Katie heard a noise. Asking Virgil to turn down the radio so that she could listen better, and then not long after, Virgil was shot 2 times in the head from a closed window 3 feet away. Katie ran down to check on Virgil after the sound, but only found him dead, slumped on his chair. She then ran to call the police on her phone, but shot twice in the head, while she was on the phone. From the same window too. See if I can find...
So, was the guy inside the house, or they got, sniped?
Jesus, they got sniped? They were shot from outside the home.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find my place again. She survived as one bullet got caught under her tongue, stopped by her jaw and teeth, and the other entered through her cheek and exited her through her left ear. She heard the attacker try to enter the house and ran outside of her house after grabbing a weapon, and ran quite a way to another friend's house and asked them to call the police, where she would be taken to the hospital and the police were called. The entire time, Katie felt everything as she never went into shock. So, yeah, that's pretty... That must have fucking sucked.
Yeah. So, I mean, he missed 2 shots?
He hit. They hit, but they didn't kill her, thankfully. She did survive. And
when I heard that...
She ran to her closest neighbors, which were her in-laws or her step family. I can't quite remember. It was her extended family. They weren't home though, so she had to keep running further down.
So she was running on foot, right? Not on
She had no vehicle
or whatever.
Yeah, and the entire time, her face was just... It was described as a virtual lake of blood, I believe, or a virtual river of blood. So just her face was just, there was lots of blood everywhere she was running.
Okay. And
the only reason she got away is for some reason the killer tried to force he tried to force himself into the house through the nearest window he shot by. But their house was actually quite big because it's a 500-acre farm. So their house was quite big, and she managed to go through another... She ran through the living room or something. So she managed to get away in the house and get real far away. That's why the killer never really got to her.
But did he ever enter the house, or because
no real way of knowing, because by the time...
But I mean, the killer didn't really see her leave, or what?
From the looks of it, no, because he was probably so busy trying to get in the house.
So okay, that's just a little weird. Yeah, that's a little... I don't know.
What do you mean?
He just shot at... He shot at her through the window, I assume, right?
Yeah.
And then he's trying to get into the house, but he doesn't hear her leaving the house, running down the street.
Well, I'm saying their house is really big. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I don't know. Even so, I mean,
she did grab a weapon, which was a gun, because it's a farm. So.
Okay.
I don't know if the killer would have known that. Like I said, this one's actually not in Texarkana. It was 10 miles from Texarkana. And the police believe the reason for this is because the killer, after the third couple victim, the killer had actually saw how locked down the town was and how protective of it was. I'll go into it in a tiny little bit. That he went to a place near Texarkana where the police weren't patrolling, because as I believe the Texas Ranger kind of what's that word, when he psychoanalyzes the killer or whatever, or tries his best to. I forget what the specific word for it is. Cool. He saw that the killer was being kind of smart about his killings and watching where police were patrolling and everything, basically. And
so I mean, I don't know. I don't think the dude's too smart.
I mean, he's not the smartest, no. But I'm saying he was aware of police patrols, and he knew the best way to attack people while not getting caught.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
I mean, he obviously he was. So another thing to add, my bad. Another thing to add was on this final crime. Supposedly, there was a rumor going around that the guy who died, Virgil, the husband of Katie, had several times complained to neighbors that there was a car coming by and kind of stalking the house. So this guy was obviously, trying to like case the house, I guess is the best word. For probably like the best place to attack and everything, watching for police routes and everything.
Well, if it's a farm, I assume not like it's deep in the property, like
most 500 acre.
Yeah, so I assume like if it's like a one-time thing, like the dude probably lost and trying to turn around or something.
Nah, it was several times.
Oh yeah, I get that, but I would assume like police won't really patrol deep into the farm,
No, probably not. I mean, I don't think farmers and police officers have a very good relationship.
Because I know hunters, when they enter like a farm person's land, they or the fucking farmers get mad and shit,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because farmers are very protective of their land, and for very good reason. You don't want someone. I mean, cow poaching is still a very serious problem, even in Texas in modern day. It's only getting worse, from what I've heard. So yeah. So the MO, or the modus operandi of the killer, like I was talking about, was to attack young couples in private areas just outside of city limits. He used a .32 caliber gun. Although the Starks were murdered with a .22 and a .32. He always attacked on the weekend, usually 3 weeks apart, and always late at night.
Was this a farm called Lover's Lane?
I don't remember what the farm was called. I think the farm did actually have a name.
Was it called Lover's Lane though?
No, it was not called Lover's Lane. But I mean, as we can see, he is attacking couples, which is weird because I don't. Let's see. I think the second double murder, which was Betty Jo Booker and Paul Martin, I don't actually know if they were a couple. From what I read, Paul Martin was actually given a ride to Betty Jo Booker. They could have just been friends. I wasn't too sure. There wasn't really like anything confirming that they were, a couple.
Yeah, he got friend zoned. Yeah, I feel that.
I yeah, maybe.
She was like, "Yeah, we got attacked, but he's just a friend."
And yeah, no other victim. Well, obviously, some of the other victims were just found dead, but no one else really got a description on the killer, and they don't even know if he wore a mask after the first attack. That's why people kind of call him the Phantom, because it's like, I mean, obviously it was a name given by the local papers to kind of like hype him up so they could sell more fucking paper and whatnot, but people really kind of did believe he was very phantom-like, where they couldn't see him, they don't know when he would attack, and he was kind of everywhere. Like I said, this would inspire the movie The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and I might as well go into it now. The whole fucking town was in a panic over this guy. This is actually kind of funny to me. I don't think it's cool, but it's funny. The police had hired teenagers to go to Lover Lane and chill in the fucking car, and while they were like hiding in a fucking bush, I guess, I don't know, they were waiting for him to attack. They put kids in danger just to draw the fucker out. Did the kids at least get paid a lot? They got paid. I don't know if they got paid a lot. Much? Man. This is 1946. There's no record of money being given to this kid.
I would do this if I got paid. Like, how long were they there? Do you know?
No clue. I assume maybe 2 hours or 3 hours.
I do that shit for like 500, bro.
So here's even the funnier thing, right? The police asked these kids and paid these kids to do it. There was kids going out there for fucking free, with the fucking Glock in their fucking car and shit. There was some girl that a police officer pulled up on. He's like, "Why are you just standing here by yourself? I'm a police officer. Don't do this. This is dangerous. The town's in danger." And she shows her fucking 45 ACP to him and goes, "See, if you were the killer, I would have just killed you right now. Thank you for identifying yourself." I was just like, what the fuck? They were saying that business went down, right? People weren't going out to buy food and groceries because
so did this panic happen after this, like the fourth killing?
No, this panic happened, I would say, after the second victim, because the second victim brought a lot of police activity to this town.
And then
the third, it would be the third victim, but you know, this the first killing.
The farm one is the fourth one, right?
Yeah. The
so I mean, you said that was like 10 miles away, so I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, but so the records of gun sales and ammo sales went up drastically, but like buying food, water, shit like that, groceries went down because people were so scared of going outside. Like I said,
just go outside like by yourself. Don't go out with your wife. Just by yourself.
I wonder if that would work, because like you said, he only seemed to attack couples. So if you went out solo, would the killer be disinterested?
Like, oh, he's just a fucking loser, no girl. Oh, you know.
Well, like I was saying, the word I was looking for previously when I was talking about the killer being psychoanalyzed is profiled. Texas Ranger Captain Gonzalez had profiled him as a shrewd criminal who had left no stone unturned to conceal his identity and activities, that his efforts in killing were both clever and baffling, and that he was a cunning individual who would go to all lengths to avoid apprehension. A sheriff of the town said he was the luckiest person he'd ever known because no one heard him in time, saw him, or could identify him in any way. And he was a maniac who was an expert with a gun. And the sheriff believed that the killer was insane because he couldn't see a sane person killing this many people for seemingly no reason. As far as I could tell, there was no reason.
Dude went Punisher on couples.
Yeah, like the police could not draw a conclusion as to why he did it. There's a very racist quote here that I will not say by a police officer.
Not surprised.
Actually, I kind of want to say it because but it's just because it shows how funny and stupid the police officers are.
Oh, you find racism funny, huh?
I don't find racism funny.
That's what you.
I don't know how to word this.
I don't know, man. It's kind of racist.
Okay, so, Dr. Anthony Lapala, a psychologist at the Federal Correctional Institution of Texarkana, did not believe that the killer was an African American individual because he did not believe that African American individuals could be smart enough to commit this type of crime.
And this was funny to you?
I think him being stupid and ignorant is like funny. Not that there's like, I don't know what to say about that one, but it's just. It's just so of the time. It's so weird that. So
I mean, that definitely made it. If it was an African American person that committed the crimes,
yeah,
that would just make it more fucking stupid for the police. Saying, or was it just one police?
It was a
like the whole thing.
No, it was a psychologist.
I mean, that just makes it easier for if he was an African or if they were an African American person killing people. They just make it like, oh, it can't be an African American, right? Because of the quote the guy said.
Yeah.
It must be like what a Caucasian person.
Yeah, that's basically what they're saying.
So I mean, that just helps him get away with the
murder,
the crimes he's committing.
I mean, it might have, like, for all we know, it could have been maybe a Mexican American, a Mexican. Asian American. I mean, yeah, but I mean, could have been anyone, but they're so narrow set on believing that because this killer was such a quote unquote genius, it had to be a white guy from the looks of it.
Yeah.
And that really holds back the whole detective process, evidence gathering and all that. Witness or suspect knowledge gathering. I don't really know.
Is that why they thought the first guy was untrustworthy? Because you guys
the girl. No, it was more just because her story was changing so much. From what I read, that she would like change small things in it, while the guy kind of remained consistent. I mean, to be fair though, one thing to quickly said, the guy of the people who survived the assault of the masked man, the very first victims, the guy quoted himself saying he was constantly blinded by a flashlight. Like they were, what? like the guy pulled up next to their car in Lover's Lane and just blinded the dude so he wouldn't get like a good look on him, basically.
Okay.
So, and even the white person thing is kind of up in the air. They just know that they could confirm he was around 6 feet tall because both the girl and the dude said that.
Okay. I don't know, man. I mean, oh geez, hold on, my bad. I was about to burp.
I mean, they did hear his voice.
I mean,
obviously, a voice doesn't really tell you much if you're in the South because everyone kind of has a Southern accent. At least back then.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not too sure. I've never met anyone with a Southern accent here.
I've never met one here, but we live up north. There's a podcast I listen to where a guy who's from East Texas is in the podcast, and you could clearly hear his Texas accent. He hides it pretty well because I believe he moved to LA for a while, but you could hear it.
I mean, because we're still in Texas, right? The only time I ever hear like a Southern type accent is me doing an impression of it.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not too sure. I think the accent comes from, if I remember correctly from my 5th grade Texas geography or whatever, Texas history, the first people to settle Texas were like Austrian, Swedish, and German people. So the accent kind of comes from them being next to Mexican people who spoke Spanish and trying to learn English, and it kind of combined into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's around 400 suspects, but no one ever actually like got arrested, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, I need a burp. Okay. A 33-year-old rookie police officer from Arkansas. I was about to say Arkansas. My bad, Arkansas. Noticed that on the night of one of the murders that a car had been stolen. So he tracked that stolen car, and one day he saw someone get in it, and he obviously arrested them because the car was stolen. He found out it was 20-year-old Peggy Swiney, and what he found out was that she was actually married to someone named Ewell Swiney, and he was apparently the one that stole the car. And she immediately kind of snitched on him, and he found out where he was. He was in Atlanta, Texas, trying to sell another car. Now, what the police officer did was he got a victim of the attack. It doesn't say who specifically, but he brought him to Atlanta, Texas, hoping to kind of rouse a reaction from Ewell Swiney. Because if Ewell Swiney saw one of his victims, the idea was he would run away or try to like turn around from where he was going, because he wouldn't want to be seen, because the victim might know who he was, or might hear him and recognize him. So when they go to Atlanta, Texas and find Ewell Swiney from a distance, they realize he's walking around in cowboy attire. Now, one thing I didn't mention, right, was that... Can you hear the phone in the background?
No.
Okay, good. I'll keep going. One thing I didn't mention was that the police officers had suspected that the killer wasn't from the town, because no one was like kind of snitching on one another. So they kind of came to the conclusion that it was someone from out of town, but he had come dressed trying to. Yeah. Yeah. He had come dressed disguised so people wouldn't recognize him. And that kind of cowboy look was kind of what they thought he would come as. And
like just as a cowboy, he came?
Basically. He had like boots, a cowboy hat. So he brought the attacker was walking with the victim, right? And they actually did encounter Ewell Swiney, and almost immediately as he fucking saw Ewell Swiney fucking turned around and ran away to a fire escape. But the police officer did catch him, Tackett. And when he caught him, for some reason, Swiney kept saying, I'm going to go to the electric chair. I'm going to go to the electric chair. That's when they started questioning the wife. Now, the wife started saying he was the Phantom Killer, that he killed Betty Jo Booker and Paul Martin. But the biggest issue was the fact that she kept changing her story.
The wife.
And then
shout out to that wife, bro.
Why shout out to that wife?
She's a real one, bro.
She kept changing her story, though. She kept making it seem more unlikely and unlikely.
Exactly.
Oh, she's just saying she's protecting her man.
Yeah.
Well, they believe she was protecting her man because she was a victim of abuse and he was abusing her. So she was scared. Yeah. You might want to rescind what you said. Okay.
It's just speculation.
And the biggest issue was that they couldn't actually get the wife to confess against Swiney. Or Ewell Swiney. And so because of that, they couldn't get him for anything because he wasn't talking. So he kind of... There was lots of circumstantial evidence. But in the end, they couldn't really grab him for anything. Like, he owned a .32 Colt rifle. He had... So...
just them being ignorant.
So one of the victims, the second victims, would be Betty Jo Booker and Paul Martin. So Betty Jo Booker was coming back from like some sort of recital. I can't quite remember right now. And Paul Martin had a music. He had some sort of instrument. And they found like, I hope you didn't hear that. He had a obviously instrument case, right? And it was made of leather. And they found pieces of that leather, or they believe they found, or they did find pieces of leather, but they believe the leather might have been from like that instrument case and shit like that.
Yeah.
Peggy's family and Ewell's brother-in-law believed Ewell was the Phantom, so there was more than one person and shit like that. And one of the a big issue with that was also that fingerprints didn't really match. They found fingerprints on the Booker Martin case, but they didn't match the Ewell Swiney. Another dude, what's up?
Was there fingerprints on any other case?
I'm not sure. It doesn't mention it anywhere.
Okay.
And it doesn't mention it in the case breakdown of those specific cases. This is just kind of like after the fact, after investigation and everything. And another one was HB Dubi Tenenson. Basically, he bought cyanide. He killed himself. They found a suicide note. And he basically confessed to being the Phantom Killer.
He confessed?
In a suicide note.
Oh, this guy right here, right?
Yeah,
that ran away?
HB Dubi Tenenson.
I don't know.
I mean, there's circumstantial evidence for it, but you know, that's kind of the two big primary suspects in this case, and it was such a long time ago. I don't know if this case will actually ever get solved. It might remain a cold case, but it is one of the most mysterious cases of Texas.
It might turn out to be like a Zodiac type beat killer thing. So
funny enough, he like the first victims that saw him. He, like, you know how he said he had like a bag over his head?
Yeah.
It's similar to what the Zodiac Killer wore. Just imagine with the weird symbols, it was just a white bag, but like the
Just
same type of.
thank you, a bunch of thank yous on it, you know?
Why would it be what? Am I
Because that's
missing
how all
something?
the white bags you get in like stores and shit.
Oh no, I'm not. It was like not those types of, not a plastic bag, like I don't know what those bags are called, like a cloth bag, a recyclable bag,
Oh yeah, I get
a
what you're
reusable one, basically that type of texture and look and feel.
I get what you're saying. It's just trying to make a joke.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they used plastic bags in 1946. I'll be honest with you. I'm sure I think they used paper bags. You remember paper bags?
I mean, I know what paper bags are.
Yeah, but did they even use them anymore? I don't think so.
That's either environmentally friendly bags or plastic bags.
Did your teachers ever make you take a book home and like you had to put it by a book cover because they didn't, if you return the book damaged, like they'd make you pay for it? And
No.
your mom got like a paper bag and she like covered the book in paper bag as the book protector?
No.
They did that back in California.
We don't read books here, bro.
I could tell. I could tell. And that is the Phantom Slayer, Phantom Killer / Texarkana Moonlight Murders.
Movie or something. I don't know.
It is, yeah. There is the movie. There's two movies, 2014 remake and the original, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. If you want to watch that, it's got like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, we kind of have to now, don't we?
If you wanna
accompany this episode.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's up to you. Wow, there's a Phantom Slayer video game. I don't know if this is based on the. No, it's not at all. I don't know why it says this is related. It's not related at all.
Out of all killers, they make a movie about this guy.
Well, so it's inspired by the events that happened here. I think the tagline of the movie was like, everything here was real except something's been changed, or nothing was changed except the names. I think that was the tagline of the movie or something like that.
Nope. I haven't watched the movie. I didn't research this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just know because Ryan Hollinger in one of his YouTube videos talked about it, and I like his film analysis.
Spider-Man?
Who? What?
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Tom Holland?
Ryan Hollinger.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
All right, whatever. I think Aris is a bit too distracted right now, right?
I mean,
I don't know.
You're talking about Spider-Man, bro. I'm
not talking about Spider-Man. That was the Texarkana Moonlight Murders. Unsolved spooky mystery. It's by a highway too, so I mean that's kind of cool, right? At least one victim was kind of.
I'm pretty sure.
One of the victims.
I'm pretty sure that everyone that has ever gotten killed by a murderer was killed kind of close to a road.
Yeah. So I don't know how to really end this other than this is Omar signing off and Aris.
Aris.
You gonna say bye?
Yeah, I am.
You want?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I don't fucking know how to end these things.